How what's up, y'all? It's popping. It's D-Boss here on this Jubilee vid. It's titled 6 People with Autism versus 1 Fake. So somebody sent me this vid because I have referenced autistic people a couple times since I watched the Netflix documentary about them. It's called Love on a Spectrum. And I've even mentioned in a previous video, I was like, I see so many odd comments on like YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. And I've always been like, what the hell is up with these people? Like, how aren't they understanding what's being communicated? Or how are they not understanding this is a joke? Like, why is this going over their head so heavily? Like, this is so weird. But after the documentary, I was like, this adds up. Because one thing a girl said on there that, really stuck out to me, she said that she has a really difficult time picking up on social cues that the typical person will be able to pick up on. And I was like, that fucking makes sense. Because I've been on YouTube for several years. I've made so many random, stupid jokes, made so many dumb comments that are not to be taken seriously. But every now and then I will still get people sliding in my DMs trying to dispute some dumb shit that I said that was so clearly a joke. I'm like, what? I used to just be like, nigga, are you slow? Like, this is so dumb. Like, how are you getting this? Like, this was so obviously a joke. Like, what? But it's like, maybe they were autistic, so they're not picking up on those very obvious social cues. Or I'll make a statement and people will be like, well, D, not everybody is like that. Or this doesn't, describe everyone. It's like, duh. I'm not going to speak like that in normal conversation. That's not how you talk. You're not going to keep making statements and follow it up with, but there are exceptions, but not every single person on the planet, but not everyone in the world. Like, that's just supposed to be assumed. You're supposed to use your common sense and assume that that's what the person is stating. Unless they say every single person. Unless they specifically say that, you just have to assume they're speaking about, particular people. They're not saying everyone is like that. You feel me? So it's just like, okay, I get it. That they're probably autistic. Obviously, there are other mental disorders that I'm unaware of. They could fall under some other disorder, but it might be this one, is all I'm saying. Like I said, I'll be seeing comments and I'm like, it's making sense. Anyway, let's see how these people act, though. Let's watch.
I can't choose any of you guys to be the mole.
This is gonna be the hardest
even me myself. Like, it's like I think I'm the mole, honestly.
Excuse me.
I think we just talk about our disabilities.
I prefer disorder.
Disorder, yeah. I was diagnosed in middle school, and then I transitioned to a school for people on the spectrum. Once I graduated middle school and went to that school, I kind of really enjoyed where I was at and everything. This is really hard because there's like so many eyes on me already.
I think that's very genuine. I also think her in the pink is genuine and the black dude. Like I said, I'm just going based on documentary. I don't know shit.
It's just taken a while to accept.
But their mannerisms, it's
that I have a disorder. There's people who I've met myself who say you have autism. My family would be like, did you tell him you have did you tell him you have a disability? No, I don't think I need to. But reality, it really does help to know that I do have autism.
They first suspected me of being autistic when I was 5, but they hesitated to diagnose me because I was too intelligent.
I mean, that's a compliment right there, being too intelligent.
I'm also with the blue shirt.
I feel like in some ways it's a little bit of an insult.
I was diagnosed at the age of 2. I don't see it as a disorder or a disability because I don't see my autism as something that's negatively affected my life because, I like who I am, I like the way I think, and I don't want to change a single thing about myself.
Honestly, being here is we have to... Oh, go ahead, Amanda. Sorry, I spoke with someone.
I personally see autism as a disability. I have a master's in disability studies. The medical model of disability inherently says that autism or any other disability is within our own fault and that we are the cause of the disability. But the social model of disability says that society is the cause of the disability. So autism is a disability because society is not made for me. That disability comes from without, not within. I grew up autistic and deaf, and I grew up feeling like I was such an outcast and I was the odd one out. Oh, hey, I just used the name of this. That was fun.
I was diagnosed when I was 4 years old, and it's like it's always been a difficult process for me, like basically growing up, going to school and everything, know that people don't perceive me as this normal guy. So I figure if I'm going to be this autistic person, like might as well be the best autistic person that I can be. I always, yeah. I always try my best to excel in school. I always tend to be like one of the smartest kid in school. That's a whole stereotype.
I would consider myself a late bloomer. I was diagnosed at the age of 22. I went most of my life always knowing that there's something different about me, but I couldn't put my finger on it.
I actually don't like this.
I only got.
Because whoever pretending, like, are they trying to make their voice sound a certain way? Are they trying to be the stereotypical autistic person? It kind of gives that they mocking them. I don't like it.
Diagnosed this year was because I recently moved to a large metropolitan area that has many resources, and so that was one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life, because I have access to therapy, and I was finally able to get an answer that I was always looking for. I really, really struggled to fit in. I really struggled to be able to come up with the right words to get other kids to want to talk to me. Mm-hmm. And so I stood out pretty badly, and that continued throughout my entire time in grade school. I remember first feeling what depression was when I was around 6.
So when I was in university, they make us do these psychological studies, because I was studying psychology, and they have different things you can apply for. And I noticed one of them was they were studying autism in women, specifically like people who are older. So I applied, and that was how I got my diagnosis, which was like I was 21 then. My wife and like one of my friends are actually the only people that know I've been diagnosed. So surprise, family or friends, anyone who's watching. It was like an eye-opener. It was kind of bittersweet because it was like...
And obviously it's a spectrum. That's literally what the Netflix show is called, on a spectrum. So not everyone is going to act the same. But, like I said, she's making me suspicious. Because everybody else...
I'm happy now. I have answers to all things that were going on before that I thought might have been something wrong with me.
There is nothing wrong with you, okay? You're amazing.
I agree with that.
I agree. I agree now.
Sean, go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, I was diagnosed when I was a child, but I didn't know I was autistic because, as a 2, 3, 4-year-old, I don't know how one even knows what it's supposed to be up with them. So it's definitely hard, like, speaking in groups situation, because I can never tell the rules of, like, how to, like, when to talk and when to speak up. It's kind of like just jumping in, like, right.
See, those are the social cues that I talked about at the beginning.
Well, when you're kind of feeling like it. Plus, I've also blocked a lot of my childhood memories from trauma. And, so I lived my whole life just wondering why I couldn't connect to people.
Understand
each other.
Yeah. Can I ask you guys questions about, like, what are stimulants? Like, do you guys, like, chew gum, or do you guys, like, have anything that you guys do specifically to, like, keep you guys calm or keep you guys... Go ahead, Amanda.
The color pink.
The color pink. Okay.
It's my favorite color in the whole world. My whole room is pink at home. My bed is pink. My bedspread is pink. My pillows are pink. And my rug is pink. And my carpet is pink. I even remember framed pink pictures of mine. And most of my clothes are pink. I love pink. It's the best color in the whole world.
Okay.
I love blue too.
I like blue too, but pink is better.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's subjective.
How do you guys feel about that term high functioning?
I don't like that
I
term
didn't
at
really
all.
think about it too much.
I don't think I think about it either.
Autism is too much of a spectrum. So many people with autism have so many different experiences.
I can't choose any of you guys to be the mole.
This is gonna be the
like
hardest
even me
thing.
myself. Like it's like I think I'm the mole. Honestly, like
I know they were like.
It's out of these two. Everybody else, I would bet money that they're autistic. These two, but I'm leaning more towards her, but is that the point to make it, to throw me off? To make it seem like it's her when it's not? What the fuck is that?
To find them all, we're like, maybe there's not.
Like, even a person who's neurotypical might just be an undiagnosed autistic.
Yeah.
You never know that. What about that? like, damn, all this relates. Wait a second.
The mole might not be neurotypical. Just because someone doesn't have autism doesn't mean the mole could have like ADHD or OCD, and could be overlapping the symptoms that could be associated with autism as well.
My kid has a genetic condition that is not autism, but does manifest behaviorally and neurologically in many ways that are similar to autism. So when people interact with my kid, they often see an autistic child, but my kid isn't autistic.
Does autism run in any of your guys' family?
I realized I was autistic because my half brother, he's 5 years old. Well, I guess he's 7 now. Whoops, I don't know his age. But I see him, I'm like, wasn't I like that when I was a kid? My mom was like, yeah, because we thought.
I was forgetting about age.
I was like, what?
And I did find out that my youngest nephew was just recently diagnosed with autism as well. So, but luckily he had an uncle who already experienced everything that he's going to experience, and I can I can be a mentor towards him.
Yeah, my dad is an undiagnosed autistic. Sorry, Dad.
Go ahead.
Do you ever like wake up and feel like you're not autistic and like, or like you have a disability? You're like, this is just me. Like,
yes,
it's called masking.
I think I could be seen as neurotypical passing sometimes because I try to hide as much symptoms as possible because I was trained to do so at a very early age.
People that don't have experience with others who have autism, they expect it to stand out, and that's not always the case.
Yeah, her mannerisms make me think
we all look like humans.
I think you can blame that partly on the media, how they portray us.
We don't have good representation.
No, we don't. What that movie with Dustin Hoffman, Rain Man, where you being on the spectrum automatically mean you're good at gambling. I wish I was good at gambling or something.
None of them have the same experiences that I do. So there's no way to have pinpointed, this person is more quiet, this person is more socially awkward. There's no way to tell who was autistic or not.
On the count of 3, will the mole please raise their hand? 1, 2, 3.
Oh! Who could have seen that coming?
I know you fucking lying,
totally
bitch.
didn't see that coming.
I was shook.
I was like, no, it cannot be her. It can't be her.
I never would have guessed.
I actually didn't lie about anything. I just flipped out autism with FASD, and it stands for fetal alcohol spectrum disorder. I was exposed to alcohol when I was inside my mom in the womb for the first 5 months.
The reason I called her a bitch, because I was like, if she was making all this shit up, like, that's fucked up. And, like, her mannerisms, if you are, like, faking all of that, like, that's really messed up. So that is why I said that. But she's saying she didn't fake it. She has a different disorder. So that makes sense.
And
I knew it was between her and the one with the black shirt, though. I fucking knew it.
FASD as a spectrum, just like ASD.
Even though she might not have been autistic, there are a lot of overlaps between autism and many other neurological disabilities.
FASD is never talked about. I've never met a single person who shares that diagnosis with me.
What differences do you see between people with autism versus...
I actually see a ton of similarities. And I wouldn't want to, discredit anybody else's experience. But autism does run in my family very heavily. My dad has autism. I have a sister that has autism. And I have quite a few cousins who have autism. And I also have quite a few friends who have autism.
Damn, we're not your first.
The autism community accepts you.
I love you.
Getting a diagnosis can be a whirlwind of emotions. As long as you stay true to yourself, I promise you everything's gonna end up okay.
We are more than the label that defines us. At each label we have is a whole spectrum.
A diagnosis does not define somebody. Everybody is completely unique, whether you're neurotypical or neurodivergent.
Aww. That's interesting, though. I said that at the beginning of the video. The people I was referencing, I'm like, maybe they're not autistic. There could be some other mental disorder out there that I'm unaware of that they fall under. But I'm like, something's up, And lo and behold, there is another disorder out there that's similar to that of autism. But it does suck, though. I feel like people automatically assume that people with autism are not intelligent. I was clearly ignorant, you know, about autism before I saw the documentary. I mean, I'm still ignorant. It's not like I know everything about it, but it just shed, you know, a lot of light on it for me. But yeah, I previously thought that, you know, maybe they, you know, were retarded, and that's not, I'm not using it in a derogatory way. There are people who have mental retardation. But yeah, you assume that, but that's not the case. Like the chick in the pink dress proved, she was very educated, you know. She knew a lot about her disorder, her son's disorder. So it has nothing to do with intelligence at all. It just has to do with the way that they socially interact. And the documentary on Netflix, it's so adorable. Like, they're so cute. Like, the way that, you know, they just seem so innocent and just pure-hearted, you know? Like, they don't seem as tainted as the typical person, as jaded. So that was really refreshing to watch. That's why I kept watching it. They were really like a breath of fresh air, so I really enjoyed it. And just to be clear, I wasn't trying to talk shit about autistic people at the beginning of this video. I was just expressing my previous frustration with those particular type of comments because I didn't understand what was going on. I'm just like, are these niggas trolling? Are you purposely trying to miss the point? Like, are you just trying to be annoying? You know, I didn't understand, you know, why people would say certain things, but it's like something's off. I mean, some people obviously could be trolling and purposely, you know, trying to irritate others, but, you know, it could also be because they are autistic or they have some type of other disorder and they're just not understanding, you know, what's being communicated. And it's like, oh, they don't really get it, you know? But, yeah, anyway, this was an interesting video. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Let me know what other videos you want me to watch, and I'll see y'all the next time. Bye!